Okay, so everybody, you can look at this piece of note. We'll do a recap. So first thing first is I gave you a crash course to learn on expansion and factorization. So factorization, 2 terms, 3 terms, and 4 terms are all what you did in set 1 already. Just that for 4 terms, it's a little bit complicated, and I realized that most of the set 1 students struggle for 4 terms factorization. Hence, we're going to do more recap or rather more in-depth drills for this lesson, or rather the next lesson, depending on how fast you guys learn today. Then next, we're going to learn something new, which is called 3-term factorization. Some schools are doing the box method. Some schools are doing the cross method. So can you see here? In your notes, I already put a disclaimer that different schools do different methods. Some do cross, some do box. But for my tuition, we'll be doing this cross method. However, if your school teacher teach you the box method, and if you are comfortable with the box method, please go ahead and do it. Got it, guys? I'm fine with it, okay? I'm fine with whether you do my way or your school way, as long as you get it correct. But if you keep getting it wrong, then no choice, you have to do it my way. Okay, so we already learned these algebraic identities, but we did not learn this one here. So these are all technically a hybrid question. It means that it is a 2-term factorization combined with algebraic identities. Later, I'll go in depth because now you all have already mastered algebraic identity, right? Later, so we'll do on page 2. Then remember page 3, just now I asked you how to make notes for type 1, type 2, and type 3. And we also make notes for others under 1 and 2, right guys? So make sure you file your notes properly, okay? Make sure they must be in your file. 1 sheet, 1 folder. 1 paper, 1 sheet, I mean. Okay, today we're going to go 3-term factorization. Later I'll go in depth. Can you see all this in your notes? 3 terms? In your notes, not worksheet, notes. 3-term factorization. Can you see 4 terms? 4 terms is what we did in set 1. But we're going to do a recap again because for sure a lot of people have forgotten. Next, can you see solving? So in order to go solving, you must master page 1 to page 6 of your notes. Then after you do solving, we'll do algebraic fractions. And then we are almost kind of done with algebra. Okay? Right now. Let's move on to here. Then we can do the advanced question already. So over here, can you all write that down? It's not written in the notes. So take your pen or your highlighter, or you can write it down and highlight in pen after. So in your notes, can you write that down? This is factorizing 2 terms using algebraic identities. After that, put a square minus b square format. Because I cannot type a square minus b square, I'll write it out. A square minus b square format. Once you're ready, you can put down your pen. Then I know that you guys are ready and you can move on. Okay, I can see that 2 students are ready. We'll wait for 1 last student. Don't forget to highlight it, okay? If you write it in black, maybe you can highlight it. Okay, so let's start. So guys, can you see this is clearly 2 terms? 1 term here, 2 terms here, right? So now, what are we going to do? First, whenever we want to factorize, we must check. Okay? So can you put as a box here? Okay, or can put a highlighter and box it up. Always check for HCF. You know what's HCF, right? Means, yes, highest common factor. So let's look at number 1. Is there anything common between 2a squared and 392?
They're both multiples of 2.
They're both multiples of 2, so the HCF is 2, right? So this is what you do. 2 bracket a square minus what? A square minus, because
196.
yes, 196, because we take out a 2 from it. So right now, this round bracket will become a square bracket. So it's 2 and then a square bracket. Take a highlighter and highlight this. Becomes this. Then do you all remember this looks like a square minus b square? So it becomes a plus b, a minus b. Do you remember that? But before I go to here, I hope you all didn't write it at all. I will not write all this first. Why? Okay, if you all write it already, then okay, then we have to write something at the side note. Can you see this 196 here? It's not in a b square format. So how do we change this 196? Yes. So this is actually a what?
14 square root. No.
14 square root.
14, yeah.
14 what? 14 square, very good. 14 square. So guys, if you do this right in exam, look here, listen very carefully. If you put A and 196, right? Bye, you are gone.
I thought like A plus then square root 196.
You can do that. Yes, you can. Okay? So always remember, it must be in the A square minus B square format. So hence, here become 14. Here is A minus 14. Can you all see that? So at the end of the day, we can just write it as 2 round bracket A plus 14, round bracket A minus 14. The end. And that's how you factorize. That's all. Got it? Okay. Now let's move on to number 2. Number 2, we always must check for HCF, right? Is there any HCF between 4 and 81?
Oh, 1.
But 1, what's the point? Right? Anything between 4 and 81?
No.
Can we do 2?
No.
Can we do 3? Can we do 4? We cannot. So there's nothing. So from here, we can straight away jump to a square minus b square. So understand? When we in set 1, we don't have this kind of thing. Remember, whenever it's 2 term, it's very straightforward. You just take out common term, right now, guys? But now you are in set 2, whenever it's 2 term, right, you must be very careful. I repeat again. Okay, listen. When it's 2 terms, and in between the 2 terms, there is a negative sign. You need to be very careful already. Because when it's 2 terms and with a negative sign, high chance is going to be an a square minus b square. Very, very, very high chance. Okay? I would say maybe 70 to 80% of the time is a square minus b square. So in your whole set 2 life, we'll be seeing a square minus b square a few times. Got it? So you must always question yourself. Can this be an a square minus b square? Always question yourself. Okay? And then you won't go wrong. So right now, what square will give me, so take a highlighter right now. What square, you see pink with pink, what square will give me 4b squared? So what do I put inside?
2b.
Yes, 2b. Now you know why we did all those training, right? So next one, can you see this 81? What square will give me 81? 9. Very good. So at the end of the day, you can put your, remember, a minus b, a plus b, right? So what do we put in the first part?
2b minus 9.
2b minus 9, and after that,
2b plus
2b plus 9. That's it. Anybody lost? Or okay? Now, before you continue, right, you must check. Anything common inside? Anything common between 2 and 9?
No.
Anything common between 2 and 9?
No.
So, okay, you're good to go. Okay? Okay, copy all this in a note. Don't forget to highlight pink with pink, blue with blue. Once you're done, you can put down your pen. Then I know I can move on. Okay, waiting for one last student. Yeah? Now, let's move on to 3. So guys, remember the very first step, what must we do? Always check for? Yes, is there any HCF between 12 and 243?
3.
3. Okay. Any higher? Anything higher?
Oh, 9, yeah.
But can 12 divide by 9? Anything?
No, I think it's
Okay, so 3 is the highest. So we put 3 bracket. What's inside now? Once I take out 3,
4b squared
4b squared minus what?
minus 81.
81. Okay. Now, guys, remember this one looks like a squared minus b squared. So let's say you are the type that is always confused. You're not sure. I teach you a trick. Can you see this? I put into something square minus something square. Can you see that? Take a highlighter, highlight that out. So this will be easier for you. Pink with pink, blue with blue. Okay, tell me what to write in the pink bubble.
4b.
4b?
2b.
No. 2b, yes. What do I write in the blue bubble? 9. Yes, very good. So from here, I can continue already. 3 bracket, can you see? A plus B, A minus B. Can you see that? And there's no sign in between the two giant brackets. So just 2B, 9, 2B, 9. So I can just write as 3, 2B plus 9, 2B minus 9. That's all. Check. Is there anything common between 2 and 9?
No.
Then that's okay. That's all. Now, we'll move on to number 4. Okay, number 4, can you put a giant star? Probably this one will be out in somebody's exam here. I will not know who, but somebody. High chance, probably Z. High chance.
You come from a good school, of course.
Okay. All right. So right now, what is this? I call this, have you all know it's an inception? Like a dream in a dream.
Yeah.
Right? So this is like inception, okay? I will show you all why. First thing first, let's check. Is there anything common between 2 and 32?
2.
Yeah.
2. Okay, let's all take it out. What am I left with now?
X to the power of 4 minus 16.
Okay, listen very carefully. Super important here. So right now I have 2, right? If let's say you're not too good in it, you can just put as bracket square minus bracket square, right? Take out your highlighter right now. Same thing. Pink with pink. Blue with blue. Now, what do I write in the pink bubble?
Oh wait, you can go further.
Yes. What can I write in the pink bubble?
X squared.
Yes. X squared. What can I write in the blue bubble?
4.
4. Okay. So this is super difficult. Listen very carefully. So can you see 2? Right now it will become a what? Bracket A plus B, bracket A minus B, right? What do I write inside? X squared, right? Plus 4. And then X squared minus 4. Correct or not? Can you see that? Then I will write down properly first. It becomes 2 bracket X squared plus 4. X squared minus 4, right? Then remember I told you guys, whenever it's a 2 terms and with a negative, you need to be really careful. Why? I can do one more time. Can you see that?
Does that mean X minus 2 to the power of 4? Like 4 times. X minus 2, X minus 2, X minus 2.
No. So this, right, is written as X squared minus 2 squared. Agree, guys? So what happens now? It becomes 2 X squared plus 4, right? Right now. Then here, same thing, red highlighter. Remember A plus B, A minus B. And what's the A?
X plus 2 and X minus 2.
Yes, that's it. And can you see that? So fun.
Then the other one also, right?
Which other one? This one, remember I told you guys,
Plus.
it's not a plus, so you cannot do that. Only when it's a minus. Clear so far? But good question. A lot of students get confused in that. Clear? Aiden, you okay? Can, ah? Okay. Now we'll move on to number 5, even more juicy. So if you understand number 4, you will know how to do number 5. Can I move on? You're all color code, guys. Very important. Can you see the one I write in red?
Yeah.
You must make sure you copy the one in red. Color code it. Number 5 is super fun. I'm going to move on to number 5 now. Can I clear screen? All right. Now let's move on to number 5. Now, why do I say that number 5 is so fun? It's so fun. This is the fun part, okay? So if your teacher says it's going to be a difficult question, means number 5 is going to be out. Number 5 is more difficult than number 4. Now, remember this now I told you guys, you must write it in something square minus something square format. Clear so far?
It's 1 square.
And you must take note that 1 is actually 1 square. So right now, take a highlighter, highlight out pink with pink, blue with blue. Now, the first pink is very complicated. I won't write as round bracket. Can you see what I did here? I write as square bracket. What I'm going to put inside the pink bubble is actually not x plus 1 to the power of 4 anymore. It's x plus 1 to the power of 2. Okay? Clear? And what do I put in the blue bubble? I'll put
1.
Now, can you see this is a a square minus b square? A square minus b square will give me a what? Bracket, 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 right? It'll give me an a plus b, a minus b. Correct or not?
Yes.
So copy, paste. So it's x plus 1 squared. Copy, paste. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Okay. Now, same thing. Square, 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 square. Now, can you see this one? X plus 1 square. Do you all know how to expand this person or not? Who knows how to expand this already? Remember, we memorized this? Gives me a what? So I teach you all how to do this. This is a x plus 1 square, right? So this is how I do it. Can you see x squared? So let's write x squared. Can you see the sign is plus? I put plus. Then I know I take 2 times x times 1, right? So 2 times x times 1 will give me
2x.
2x plus 1 square. 1. Can you see the shortcut that I did there? I'll repeat again. So last time I did teach you all the bracket way. Now I consider you as little bit more advanced. I teach you a faster way. So I'm going to repeat again. Can you see x plus 1 square again? So can you see, guys, look here. Very important, this technique. X square, right? X square. Correct or not? Followed by a 2 times this, right? So 2 times 1 first is 2. 2 times x is plus 2x. Correct? Then the square, the 1 again. So plus 1. Got it so far? Minus 1.
Oh.
Okay, so right now, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify inside the bracket. So it's x squared plus 2x. What's plus 1 plus 1? It'll be
2.
Plus 2. Next, can you see here? X squared plus 2x. Plus 1 minus 1 gives me
0.
nothing. Now, let me check. Can you see these 3 terms? Anything common between these 3 terms? Can you see here got 2? Here has 2, but does this person have a 2 in front? No. Can I take out anything? No. Now, what about this person? Is there anything common? Very good. I can take out x, right? X, right? I can take out x. So now take out x, right? A lot of students will put in the middle, which is wrong. You cannot put in the middle. This one, the HCF is x. So where do I put the x? If you write like that, right, guys? If you write as x squared plus 2x plus 2, then you go and put the x here, then bracket x plus 2, right? It's wrong.
Is there a square bracket in front of the x?
No, because x times x is x squared. When you take out an x from an x squared, it becomes x. Okay? So guys, if you put an x here, you are wrong already. You must put all the way in front. Always remember that. So I can take out an x, right? Correct or not? So when I take out an x, this x goes in front. So it'll be x, bracket, copy, paste this whole thing. And what am I left with? X squared, you take out an x, means I'm left with x. 2x, you take out x, you're left with 2. Okay?
Then won't the x also go to x cubed, then to x squared?
It's fine. It's also okay because it's times each other. Like x times 3 times 2 is the same as 2 times x times 3. Because it's all multiplying, it doesn't matter when you rearrange them. Just that for algebra, the unspoken rule is that whenever you take out one term, a single term, you put it in front. Then now take a red pen, put an exclamation mark for number 5 and put double star. Number 4 and number 5 is very difficult. So you can see how difficult it is already. This is so-called the intermediate to advanced level. And the worksheet I'm going to give you guys soon is this kind of questions. It's a hybrid. It's not so innocent. All those you have been doing are called basic, very innocent, one step only. There's no hybrid about it. So you must be really good in your algebra to do all these hybrid questions. Yes, Sec 2, that's when students will start failing math. You will see. Because of algebra. Algebra is worth 50%. Yeah. Now, for 3-term factorization, I already said just now, I won't do box. I will only do cross. But if let's say your teacher teach you box and you think that is better, maybe you can teach me. Because so far, all my students who have taught me box, I still feel like cross is better. Okay? Yeah, how do you know? You never even tried both.
I know I use cross, but I tried box because my friend told me it's easier, but then I don't understand the explanation.
Yeah, so I have a few students, maybe I have not met a student who teach me well enough, but if let's say you're a student who can teach really well and teach me box, then maybe box will be a technique that I would have picked up too, okay, in future. So let's say if you guys feel that, hey, Miss Lin, actually you should really do box, it's a lot better and more efficient than cross, bring it up to me. Then I will learn it and teach next batch of students, okay? But for now, we'll do cross. So how to do cross? There are a few things you need to know. So I need your full attention. So what is cross? You need to know the positioning. Okay, I repeat, you need to know the positioning. So we have cross here, right? Now, can you see why this is it looks like what symbol?
Multiply.
Multiply. So it means that in this zone, multiplication is happening. Next, what is this symbol here? Can you see this?
Plus.
Plus. So what is that? It means that we add, right? So in this zone, we will add. In this zone, we will times. Clear so far? Later, I'll go more in depth. So you need to see 3 terms as like, how to say, like guess and check. So where is the guessing? This part here is where you guess. This is where the guessing happens. And this part here is where you check. The checking happens. Clear so far? So wherever you do this, you need to be very clear of the position. But before we move on to position, let's go to here first. Can you see that this is made up of 3x squared minus 11x and 6 plus 6, right? Later, I'll teach you how to use your calculator to check also. Got it? But I'll not use your calculator. I'll not teach you using your calculator yet until you guys have mastered it. Then I'll teach you using the calculator. Now, can you see here? This is called an x squared term. This is called an x term. And this is called a constant. I repeat, in order to do a 3-term factorization, please write this down in your notes now. What are the three terms you need? Number one, you need an x squared term. Number two, you need an x term. And number three, you need a constant term. Okay, write all these into your notes now. What is constant term? Constant term means no unknown, which is like for this case, your number 6. Okay, so these are the three terms. Number one, x squared. Number two, x term. Number three, constant. So this is your number one, this is your number two, and this is your number three. Now, where to put the position? Can you see this is the x squared term? So in this zone, look here, in this zone, it must be your x squared term. Usually, this zone here, we'll put the x squared term and we'll put the constant term. Clear so far? Then we will check with the x term. Okay? Got it, guys? So far, so good. So now, what do we have now? Can you see we have a 3x squared? I'll put 3x squared. Can you see my constant term is 6? I'll put plus 6. Can you see that? Next, I have my x term, which is negative 11x. Okay? So far, so good. Now, another thing, another disclaimer that you need to have is, this is number one. The next disclaimer is that always make sure your x squared term is positive. Your x squared term must be positive. If it's not positive, we will make it into positive. So number 3 is where your x squared term is not positive. So later I will teach you guys. So I'm going to give you guys about 1 to 2 minutes to make your notes now before we'll move on to the guess and check part. Now here, right, you need to know your factors very, very, very well. So can you see here is 3, right? The number is 3, right? 3x squared. So 3 is made up of 1 times 3 and 3 times 1. Correct? Are there any more factors? Now, what about 6? 6 is made up of 1 times 6, 2 times 3, 6 times 1, and 3 times 2. Got it so far? So guys, do not always change. Can you see that this is 1 times 3 and 3 times 1? For me, I'll just stick as the big one come first, followed by the small one. That's it. I won't flip it around. So my left-hand side is always constant. It's stuck there. I don't move it. Clear? Unless I'm doing a different number. So guys, let's check. Can you see here? 3x times x, is it 3x squared? Yes or no? Yes, right? It's 3x squared. Now, let's move on to 6. So guys, I'll teach you a trick. Can you see this is 3 and 1? Now, 6 is made up of what? Let's try 1 and 6. I put 1 and 6 here. So can you see if I cross 1 and 6, right? So when I cross, right, means this times this. This times this will give me this person here. 3x times 6 is 18x. Can you see that? Next, we'll do a cross here. Here times here. X times 1 will give me x. Is there any way I can get from 1x to 18? Either add them or minus them. Either plus or minus. Any way I can plus or minus them such that I can get 11x? No. So that means that I know that this person is out. This one gone. Next, I'll try out 3, 1 with 2, 3. So I will cross, right? Can you see that? So when I cross 3 with 3 will give me 9, right? And I cross 1 and 2 will give me 2. So they realize that, hey, I can get 11 already. Correct or not?
So is it like guess and check?
Yes, it's guess and check. That's why guess and check. So can you see, guys, look here. I'm going to put 2 here and 3. So guys, look here. 2 and 3, does it give me 6? Gives me, right? So remember just now I teach you the technique. That is what? This times this to give me this person, right? So x times 2 will give me how much? 2x. So I write 2x. Next, this times this will give me this person. So 3x times 3 will give me 9x. Now, guys, look here. Now is the sign that is very important. From 2x and 9x, how do I get 11x? What must I put the sign in front of 2 and in front of 9?
-2 minus 9.
Yes, -2 minus 9. You all see that? So in set 1, you remember you all learned a lot of plus and minus? So this is when a lot of plus and minus is gonna be involved in set 2. So guys, look here. -2 plus -9, does it give me -11? Good. Now guys, look here. Can you see minus? Copy, paste. Minus, copy, paste. Now look here. Remember what I tell you about this zone? This zone is plus or times? Negative times negative, is it positive?
Yes.
Means you know you're correct already. So at the end of the day, how do I do it? That means that, can you see this person here? It's actually equal to bracket, bracket. Can you see there's no sign in the middle? Can you see this answer here? Copy, paste. Can you see this one here? Copy, paste. The end. And that's all for your 3-term factorization. Remember just now, what is the condition that I told you guys? The condition is that the x squared term must be positive, right? This is a condition you all must take note of. Very important. Later, we'll have this kind of question. Next condition that you all must take note of is that HCF. You must take note of HCF. Okay? So let's look at question number 2 here. We'll always check for HCF. Got any HCF or not that we can take out? Very good. You know why I do that? Because I don't want to work with big numbers. Understand? You will cry if you work with big numbers. You're like, oh my God, because there's so many possibilities. You got so many possibilities. Understand? So that's why these golden rules I'm teaching you in the red one, you must apply. There's a reason why I give you guys all these golden rules, is to solve your pain point. And the pain point is, I got to work with big numbers. I got so many different permutations. You know what's permutations, right?
No.
Permutation means, like, for example, 6 can be made out of 1 times 6, 6 times 1, 2 times 3, 3 times 2. Versus 3, a smaller number. It's just 1 times 3, 3 times 1. That's it. So guys, let's take out the HCF. So I take out the HCF. What am I left with?
X squared plus 5x plus 6.
Okay. So right now, can you see this one here? Is what we are going to do for the one in the box. Okay, so guys, position, take note. What do I put in this zone here?
X squared plus 6.
X squared, that's it. In this zone, clear so far? Next up, what do I put in this zone here? Plus 6. Okay, next, what do I put in this zone here?
Plus 50, oh, plus 5.
Not just 5x, but I must put plus 5x. The sign all matters. Next, guys, look here. I want an x squared, right? How to get x squared? It's very simple because it's only 1, right? X squared is made out of 1. And 1, the factor is just 1 times 1. So I can just put x, because it's 1x and 1x. Clear so far? Next, what about 6? Do you realize it's the same? It's made out of 1 times 6, 6 times 1, 2 times 3, and 3 times 2, right? Okay, guys, I'm going to teach you a trick. Now, listen very carefully. Can you see here? At the end of the day, what number you want? You want a what?
5x.
5. Look at number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Which one do you think will have high chance to give you plus and a plus? Means very positive answers one. There's no negative involved. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Which one?
3 and 4.
Yes. Now, I'm going to explain to you why 1 and 2 cannot. Listen here. Let's say I use 1 times 6. Look here, guys. Or rather 6 times 1. I put 6 and 1 here, right? Remember just now I told you, here is cross to give you here. Cross to give you here, right? So what happens? X times 6 is 6x, right? X times 1 is 1x. So to get positive 5x means here must be positive 6, and -1. Agree? Then remember I told you guys must copy paste, positive, positive, negative, negative. But what is in this red zone? Is it multiply or times or times or plus? Times. Negative, positive times negative will give me what? Negative. Is this right?
No.
Wrong already. So now you know why? So now you know why? If I have here very, very positive answer, this 2 is out for sure. So 2 times 3 and 3 times 2. So what I'm going to do is, this 2 is out already. I'm going to put the number here. I'm going to try out 3 and 2. Okay? So same thing. Cross to give me here. Cross to give me here. So let's look at this. X times 3. X times 3 to give me what? 3x. X times 2 to give me 2x. And how to get positive 5x? Means the 3 must have a plus and the 2 must have a plus. So plus, plus. Positive times positive will give me positive. So my answer is correct. So guys, what happened? You know, a lot of students, you know what they will do? Can you see here? There's a 3 here. They will forget this 3. Do not forget this 3. You must put a 3 here, right? Bracket what? X plus 3. Bracket X plus 2. And that's all for question 2. Okay, so right now let's move on to 3.
It's harder than all of them.
Number 3 is a little bit more difficult. I'll call this as intermediate.
Oh, finally we're into the...
Okay, so same thing. You must follow golden rules. What are the golden rules? So for number 3. Okay, number 3 is a little bit lower. I hope you all can see. Anyway, you all have your notes with you. So number 3 is here. Okay, so I'll write number 3 into here. I'll just put equal because I got not enough space. So can you see the one on the top right, the one in red? The golden rules is what?
Oh,
X squared term must be positive.
Now guys, can you see the x squared term doesn't follow the golden rule?
It does not.
so does that mean you times negative everything?
Not times, it's called take out negative. Can you see that? I take out negative, I put a bracket. So what am I left with now?
Oh, X squared.
So guys, I'll teach you a trick. Can you see this is negative? It becomes positive. Then this is a what sign?
Plus,
Positive become a
minus.
negative. And then this is a what sign?
Uh,
Positive or negative? What 10?
Positive 10.
Is negative 10. Right? Negative 10 will become the opposite. Positive 10. Got it so far? So guys, now let's see where to put your x square. Where to put x square? Number 1, number 2, number 3. 1, 2, 3. Where to put? 1, 2, 3. Where should I put my x square? Very good. 1. So put my x square. Can you see I don't even put negative? Because it's very hard to work with negative, guys. That's why I say follow this system. You'll never go wrong. Next, where do I put my negative 7? 1 or 2? Yes, negative 7x. Next, can you see a positive 10? Where do I put my positive 10? There's only one space left, which is here. So what is made up of x squared? X times x, right? Very simple. Correct. Now, what about 10? What's the factor of 10? 1 times 10? 10 times 1, right?
Wait, but isn't
Or
it,
2 times
isn't
5
it plus 10? or
and 5
minus
times 10. Yeah, sorry. Thanks. It's a plus 10 here. Okay, so can you see that these are the factors of 10? Are there any more factors of 10 besides 1, 10, 10, 1, 2, 5, 5, 2?
No.
No more, right? So guys, remember I told you a trick? Let's look at it. Which one do you think makes sense to give me a 7?
5, 2.
Yes, very high chance is this 2, right? So I just put 5, 2 lah. 5, 2. So same thing. I'm going to do the cross. Cross, 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 cross. So the first one will give me what?
5x.
5x. Very good. And the next one?
2x.
2x. But what do I want at the end of the day?
Negative.
Negative. And here is negative also, right? So copy paste, copy paste. So guys, let's check. Negative and negative, does it give me positive? Means I know I'm correct already. So at the end of the day, can you see? Guys, look here. There's a negative here. Do not forget this negative. Put a bracket, x minus 5, x minus 2. The end. And that's it for question number 3. So far, so good? Okay, can I move on? All copied already?
Oh. Wait,
Okay, so now we are left with the very last part. The last part is intermediate also. Okay, it's something interesting. It's something you have never seen for part 1, part 2, part 3. Can I move on?
yes.
Can I? Okay. Now, why is part 3 so interesting? Yes. And a lot of students are very scared when they see that. They're like, Miss Lin, I cannot do the 3-term factorization because no constant term. Yeah, they'll tell me that. Okay. Okay, so let's do part 4. Now, how to know all this, right? It's really by doing more math, having more exposure. Then you will know the different types. Understand? So that's why in my class, I expose you guys to many different types so that you'll not be lost. You will be very clear on what to do. So can you see here? Square, square, and then got PQ. Like, there is no constant, right? But can you see? P square kind of give me P. Q square will kind of give me Q. Okay. Now, it takes a while to train yourself to do this, because there's no constant, right? So this is kind of like your new constant because this constant comprises of this and this. Okay? Now let's follow golden rules. Number 1, they say the x square term must be positive. But can you see there's no x? So as long as you have a square term, is there a square term?
Yes.
P square and the negative 6, right? So we don't need to put negative 6 because why? Can you see that this 5p square is already starting with a positive? So it kind of fulfill my square term. Next, HCF. Is there any HCF between 5, 7, and 6? No. Now, can you see here is a square term and a square term? Remember I told you over here is a square term and a constant term?
Yes.
So this is actually technically not a constant term. Why? Because there's P and there's Q. There is unknown in it. Clear so far? So I'll put my 5p square here. Square term, right? Then can you see this 6q square? I'll put a negative 6q square here. Got it? So now what is 5 made out of? 5 made out of is 1 times 5, right? And 5 times 1. Is it any more factors for 5? No. What about 6? 1 times 6, 6 times 1, 2 times 3, and 3 times 2. No more already, right? So I'm going to start with 5p and 1p, which is 1p is just technically p. Okay? So I don't move it already. I will not flip. So next, ultimately, can you see that I need a minus 7pq? So let's try. 6 is made up of 1 and 6, right? So guys, imagine I put 1 and 6 here. Can you see that this times this will give me like 30p? And this times it will give me p. Is there any way I can get like, oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, here is 5p and p, right? Can you see that here it's q? You need to have a q here and a q here because only q times q will give me a q square. So that's why I say 1 and 6, right? Here will give me 1pq. Here will give me 30pq. Is there any way I can get 7? It's very far away. So 1 and 6 doesn't make sense. What I put 6, 1?
Yes.
So 6, 1, can you see that p and q will give me 6pq? And 5 and 1 will give me 5pq, right? But I want a 7. No matter how I plus or minus them, I also will not get a 7. Understand? So this is also out.
Oh, please.
So this 2 is out.
3 times 2.
Okay, what if I try 2 and 3 first? So 2 and 3 means this times this will give me 2pq, right? This times this will give me 15pq. Can or not? Cannot. So I sweep. I swap. Instead of 2, 3, I now put 3 2, right? So this times this, P times 3Q will give me 3PQ. 5 times 2 will give me 7, no, 10PQ. Now, guys, look here. I want a minus 7.
Oh, then the minus 6Q squared, the minus bring over to 2Q.
Yes, but we don't do the minus at the 6Q square first. We do the minus in this zone first. Can you see here it's either plus or minus? So guys, where do I put the minus? Does it make sense for me to put the minus on 3 or the minus on 10? It's actually 10 because I want a negative 7.
Oh, yeah.
And then the 3 will be a positive. You don't believe, put your calculator. Plus 3 plus minus 10, does it give me minus 7?
Yeah.
So now you know why in set 1 we do a lot of positive and negative numbers already. Is to train you for this very day in set 2. So guys, can you see a minus here? Copy, paste. Can you see a plus here? Copy, paste. So positive times negative, does it give me negative? Positive times negative, does it give me negative?
Yes.
Yeah, so I know that, oh, I'm on the right track. So at the end of the day, what do I get? Bracket 5P plus 3Q, bracket P minus 2Q. And that's the end for question 4.